Hey guys, this is Maliha from the Site Blogger, and today I have a really cool tool that I want to show you. It's called Creative Fabrica Studio. Now, you may have heard of Creative Fabrica. It is a digital marketplace that sells vectors and fonts and graphics and embroideries and all kinds of things. So if I go to creativefabrica.com, this is the website, and like I said, some of you are probably already familiar with it. Now Creative Fabrica has a new tool called the Studio, and it's like a Canva alternative but simpler, and it is perfect for bloggers and small business owners who do not need Canva's bells and whistles and just need a simple tool that can create simple graphics, as in social media graphics or documents even. But when I say simple, I caught myself saying that word because simple doesn't mean that you cannot do some amazing things with it. In fact, you can do a lot with it, which is one of the things that I fell in love with when I was testing this tool. It's just that it doesn't have some of the things, some of the capabilities of Canva, for example. You cannot work with videos with Creative Fabrica yet. It's a new tool, so things will change, I'm sure, as was the case with Canva. Canva 2 was super simple when it first came out, but Creative Fabrica comes packed with some pretty amazing features like AI image generator, background remover, etc. And you can also create vectorize logos with Creative Fabrica, and I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, this video I just want to show you some of the basic functions of Creative Fabrica, and I will in the process create an Instagram post for you so you can see me do it in real time. So this is Creative Fabrica Studio. Just go to studio.creativefabrica.com, start your 30-day trial if you want, and then you can click this button that says Add New Design. Now, just one thing before I do anything is that right now Creative Fabrica has super discounted offer, a $47 per year subscription, which comes down to only $3.99. And that doesn't just include Studio, it includes Creative Fabrica's marketplace as well. So it's the all access pass to Creative Fabrica. You have tons, like hundreds of thousands of fonts available and millions of graphics available, just with that price, the $3.99 per month. I'm not sure how long this amazing offer is going to last, but I highly recommend that if you like Creative Fabrica, just go ahead, and it's free to start using. So go ahead and start using the tool, and if you like it, then I highly recommend that you sign up for it. If you think that you're not using Canva to its full potential, for example, and you want a cheaper tool that will still do the things that you do, for example, creating social media graphics, documents, etc., then Creative Fabrica Studio may just be the perfect tool for you. Now, let me go back to the studio and create that Instagram post that I promised that I would. So when you click, let me backtrack a little. When you click Add New Design, it brings you here. You can actually create custom dimensions and choose whether it's going to be pixels, inches, or whatever. Or you can also search for a pre-made dimension, for example, Instagram post. So when you search for Instagram, it gives you 3 different dimensions. So the first one is for an Instagram square post, the other one is for Instagram reel, and then profile picture. So I'm going to choose Instagram post, the square graphic, and then I will click Create New Design over here. If you follow my cursor, the yellow blob, that's my mouse. And before I go any further, I want to show you something really cool. Creative Fabrica makes it really easy to change the dimension of your design. So right now this is a 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels, but you could just as easily make it a different dimension. So for example, 2000 pixels by, I don't know, 1000 pixels maybe. And then you can click apply, and right away it applies that dimension right over here. Instead of creating new designs, or instead of having to go through multiple tabs and whatnot, it's just super simple. You can go back to the original design. You can specify the dimension, or just hit Control Z or Command Z until you get back to the original dimension. Or you can use these arrow buttons as well to kind of go back and forth any changes. Anyway, and if you don't want it, if you don't want this new dimension option on your window, just hit that cross sign and it will be gone. And if you want it back, just click this tab over here and it comes back. So there's that. Easy. Now we're going to create an Instagram post, and to create an Instagram post, I decided to create or invent a persona. So let's assume that I'm a blogger and I blog about writing, creative writing maybe. And I just wrote a blog post about how to create scenes with tension in them, right? Maybe I wrote a blog post about, high tension scenes and how to write them, or how to add tension in a scene, etc., etc. So I'm trying to promote that on Instagram, and this is the Instagram post. I'm gonna start by giving it a background color. Now, I don't have to, but I want to, because I was playing around earlier. I was trying to see, okay, what kind of design I want to make during this demo, and I came up with this cool design idea, and that requires this yellow background. But there's some background colors that are available to you when you if you follow my mouse. But if you have a specific color you want to use, just hit that pencil icon with the color in it, and then you can use this swatch to kind of, go from one color to another. Or if you know the hex code of the color, you can also just type it here, and that will apply the color. But I'm just going to go ahead and choose this. And then I am going to add an image. Now, Creative Fabrica Studio has lots of photos. It has a photos library, and you can click the photos library and you can search for different photos. There's even a search bar where you can, type whatever you're looking for. Now, the photos library doesn't have as many photos as we are used to seeing in Canva. Now, I use Canva all the time, so some of you already know that I'm a Canva expert, a Canva verified expert. So I love how Canva has huge, libraries for graphics and photos and elements. Creative Fabrica Studio is a new tool, so remember that while you're working with it. So you may not find all the photos, the different options that you're used to with a tool like Canva, for example. But that's totally fine, because there are stock photo sites available like Pexels or Unsplash, where you can find more stock photos. So for example, earlier today I uploaded a photo from Unsplash actually. So I downloaded from Unsplash and then uploaded to Creative Fabrica, and it's this photo. I'm going to use this photo on my Instagram post. Now here's the thing. I don't like that it has a background, so I want to remove the background, and Creative Fabrica makes it super easy. So when you click the photo, you can just go to the top, navigation items that come up. So whenever you select something, select an element or a photo, that element or that photo specific editing options come up on the top. So kind of similar to Canva. And this icon right here, it's a wand, looks like a wand. That's the background remover tool. So just click that, and naturally any artificially intelligent task takes a bit of time. So we're just gonna wait a little bit while it does its work, and boom, done. It's actually pretty fast. If I if you think about it. It only took a few seconds, which is normal for this sort of behavior, like background remover and whatnot. So anyway, so I'm going to drag it down here so it looks like the person is looking up, like so. And just make it slightly bigger. And you can, change the angle of the photo by rotating this photo. Just click this icon, the arrows here, and then click it, hold it, and then you can move clockwise or counterclockwise, however you want, like so. All right, that looks good. And now I'm gonna look for a speech bubble. So I will look for a speech bubble under graphics. So I will go to graphics, look for speech bubble. I was looking for it already, so it just showed up. So speech bubble, and looks like there are tons of speech bubble graphics available, which is amazing. See, I mean, their library may not be as big as Canva, but their library is still pretty big. As you can see, there are tons and tons of speech bubbles available. So yeah, you should be good. Anyway, so I like the first or the second one that I see here, the pink one. So I will use that. And I will rotate it slightly so it aligns with kind of the person's mouth, like so. And make it a little bigger, and you can do that. You can make smaller or bigger by dragging the corners of a graphic, kind of like, how it works on Canva. And I'm actually going to move this person to the left a little bit. All right, that looks good. And then I will go to the text option, and I will add a text field. And I will say something like, how to add tension in a scene. All right, so that's my text. Now, obviously, as you can see, I'm going to have to play around with the font size and the font itself. The default seems to be Roboto, but I don't like that. I want something a little more funky style. How about this one? Nah, that's not the type of funky that I'm looking for. And also, Creative Fabrica Studio has a ton of fonts available for its users. So, I was trying to go through the entire list, and they have everything. They have all kinds of cool stuff. They have like a lot of the fonts that we are used to, like Laura or Lato or, Merriweather, Montserrat, and whatnot. And they also have like some of the fonts that I've never heard of before. So feel free to go over their font list. It's pretty amazing. No, none of these. I don't know. Comforta? No, not that either. Coiny? I like Coiny. Let's go with that. And I'm going to make the text box a little smaller, and you can make that smaller by, using these handles. And then text size. I think 72 is fine, but I do want to reduce the line height. So you can do that pretty easily. If you want to reduce the line height or increase them and play around with letter spacing, just click this icon right here if you follow my mouse. This right here, the T with arrows underneath it, and then you can play around with letter spacing and line spacing. I don't want to do anything with letter spacing, but I do want to reduce the line spacing. I'm just going to use the slider here and eyeball it. That looks good. How to add tension in a scene. So I'm just going to make the S in a scene capital because, okay, and make it a little smaller maybe, just a tad, just so it fits in perfectly inside the speech bubble, like so. All right, looking good. Now the top left and the bottom right corners look a little too empty, so I'm just gonna go to elements and look for some basic shapes. And if I scroll down, I will see some basic shapes as well as complex and 3D shapes, but I just want some basic shapes. But as you can see, there are other things too, like flower outlines, tropical, ink blobs and all kinds of different things. They have a lot of different options. So when I say it's not as big as Canva, don't think that they don't have enough options. They do. They have a lot of different options available that you can easily use to create amazing graphics. So when I, earlier I was saying simple. Simple is not the right word. I should say that it doesn't have as many bells and whistles as Canva does, but it's definitely not simple, because sometimes when you say the word simple, people seem to think simple is bad, but it's not simple. You can create all kinds of fascinating things with Creative Fabrica. I have been playing around with this tool for the last few days, and trust me, it has been a pretty amazing ride, and I really, really like it. I have played around with some other Canva alternatives, and Creative Fabrica Studio has been my favorite so far. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and click the basic shapes, and I like the circle shape. I was playing around with it earlier, the same design, and I think I'm gonna go with this. Just make some different things with circles, and then I'm going to duplicate it. And like I said, when you select a photo or an element, it opens up that element specific editing options at the top. So for example, you can play around with transparency, the color, you can delete it, you can duplicate it, you can repeat on background, etc., etc. You can lock it too if if you have added something, for example, the speech bubble. I don't want to accidentally click the speech bubble, so I'm just going to click it and I will lock it. And I'll do the same thing with the text too. Although I'm not seeing if I can do anything with the text. But the speech bubble, I can lock it. For some reason, it's not letting me lock it. Oh, it does. Okay. So it did lock it. I'm just, it just doesn't change, because I came to expect it to like turn into a locked icon, but that's not what happened. But it did lock it, so yeah. Anyway. Alright, so I'm going to now repeat this. So how do I know when it's locked? If I lock it, as you can see, it doesn't allow me to like, it lets me select it, but the handlebars that allows me to rotate or change the side disappear. So that's how I know it's locked. And then if you click the lock icon again, then those options appear. That's how you know that it has been unlocked. All right. So I'm going to repeat it a couple of times to duplicate it and just mess around with this, the size of the thing, like so. And then maybe I am going to select all of them and just move it up a little bit and rotate. And then I will duplicate all three of them while they're selected. And then I will move it down like so and rotate it kind of, I want it to look a bit symmetrical, if you will. And there we go. I have it. So yeah, that's my Instagram post. I don't need to do anything more. So it's simple, but at the same time, like, it's minimalist. I don't want to use the word simple. It is minimalist, but it does the work, and I think it does the work really well. Like, I don't need fancy bells and whistles or third-party apps to come up with a beautiful Instagram post using Creative Fabrica. So I think Creative Fabrica is great for bloggers and small business owners who are, just trying to get used to an online design tool. If you're not a designer, then I think you're really gonna love Creative Fabrica because the tool is so simple and so easy to use. And because it doesn't have so many bells and whistles as Canva does, it's actually really easy to use and really easy to learn to use. Because there are not a gazillion options available, you're playing around with within some constraints, and constraints actually help you become better as a designer, especially if you're just starting out, I think. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so this is my Instagram post graphics, and if you are trying to download it, just click the share icon or the button, and then click download, and it will ask you to choose between PNG, JPEG, and PDF. I'm just going to choose JPEG, and then it's downloaded. And if you want to see it, this is what the finished image looks like. Pretty cool, right? I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed designing this with Creative Fabrica. Anyway, that's it for today, and I will see you with a different video sometime pretty soon. Bye!